Straight ahead on CCX News, proposed changes in evaluating schools, how your child's school could be graded differently. Plus, why things could soon get quieter in Crystal. And later, we'll have the last laugh on this National Tell-a-Joke Day. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Big changes could be on the way over how the state evaluates your child's school. State officials have drafted a plan that would evaluate schools on several factors. Those include state test scores, graduation rates, and school attendance. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more on this proposal. Delane?
Mike, the plan is called the Every Student Succeeds Act, and although many of the metrics remain the same, schools wouldn't receive an overall grade. Meantime, the new system would flag the lowest performing schools, and those schools would then need to develop improvement plans that would be monitored by the state. Initial estimates are that they could identify 300 to 400 schools that would need support, but local school districts have some concerns about how to pay for that support.
So that is one area of concern as well for us, though, in that are we going to have the resources and, in terms of the staff support and the professional development and training that we're going to need to help that many more schools who are identified.
Scott Kroonquist lobbies at the state level for many local school districts, including those in the northwest suburbs. He says that extra school support would likely require additional funding from the state legislature. Meanwhile, we're in the middle of a 30-day public comment period on the new school evaluation draft, and Kroonquist advises anyone with a stake in public education to provide feedback.
Once this plan is submitted and approved, this is going to be, what is going to drive a lot of decisions for our school districts and schools for many years to come. And so it is an important opportunity that parents and others should take advantage of.
The state will submit its education plan to the U.S. Department of Education next month. If you'd like to review the plan and provide feedback, we have a link on our website at ccxmedia.org. Mike?
All right, Delane, thanks. Well, now to an issue that impacts both Osseo area schools and the city of Brooklyn Park. The Osseo district is governed by 6 board members, but none of them live in Brooklyn Park. And the Brooklyn Park City Council hopes to change that. The Osseo district has 11 schools in Brooklyn Park, 8 elementary, 2 middle, and 1 high school, and roughly 40% of the district's students live in the city. However, 5 of the 6 board members live in Maple Grove. The other is from Osseo. Brooklyn Park leaders believe their city is unfairly underrepresented. This week, the Brooklyn Park City Council passed a resolution asking the Osseo School Board to consider having its members elected through districts rather than at large as it is now.
We have a very different dynamic and demographics, different life experiences within our school districts, and that people that would know those dynamics, those experiences, their voices, are not heard, and I worry about that.
We've had many Brooklyn Park residents run, and very, very few in the past many years that I can ever remember be on the board. So that's why we need to do this.
Gates says Brooklyn Park is at an unfair disadvantage because there are 3 school districts in Brooklyn Park, whereas all of Maple Grove is located within the Osseo School District. In other news, Brooklyn Park police have arrested a man suspected of stabbing his girlfriend multiple times. It happened Tuesday night at the Kensington Place Apartments. The suspect fled the scene, but police were able to eventually locate him. The woman was taken to a hospital and is currently listed in stable condition. A Crystal man forgot one thing when he fled a murder scene in Minneapolis: his keys. Prosecutors say that helped link Antoine Crawford to the shooting death of a 28-year-old Minneapolis man. The car Crawford was in remained parked out front, which police were able to search and use to help identify another suspect in the murder. Crawford and the other suspect were captured in Omaha, Nebraska. If you live or work near the train tracks in Crystal, things will be a lot quieter this fall. The Federal Railroad Commission has approved a quiet zone, which means trains will not be able to blow their horns at West Broadway and Douglas Drive. It's something the city has been working on for nearly 2 years. Plans call for medians to be built to keep cars from driving around crossing arms. And since 51st Place runs so close to both crossings, there will be new turning restrictions near the tracks.
It requires that we close these different approaches or prohibit these turns. They just won't be physically possible with the quiet zone. It's sort of the price of the quiet zone, if you will, in terms of what we have to do to have a design that will meet the requirements of all the partner agencies involved.
51st Place will be closed on one end altogether, and the city hopes to have the project finished by the end of November. Students at a local charter school will have a new space when they return to class this fall. Reporter Sonia Goins has more on Beacon Academy and its new Crystal location.
We'll open the doors this fall with right around 600 kids.
A new neighbor has moved into this Crystal neighborhood.
You know, it's been such a long time coming.
Beacon Academy officials have been looking for a new place to call their own since 2006. Before the move, they were located at the Church of the Open Door in Maple Grove.
It's such a change moving from a lower level of a large mega church, so it's been a beautiful transition for us.
On Wednesday, staff spent the day racing against the clock in hopes of being ready for the first day of school.
I am really excited.
6th grade teacher Sandy Illy is elated. In her old space, she couldn't put anything permanent on the walls because the church used the facility on the weekends.
Having our own space gives us so much more ownership. The kids feel ownership to it. They know that they're going to come back on Monday and whatever they were working on is still going to be sitting at their spot.
There's plenty of learning space for students. Beacon Academy more than doubled its size.
And this is just under 80,000 square feet. So we have a kindergarten through 2nd grade wing, we have a 6th through 8th grade wing, 3 through 5 wing.
And recess is sure to be extra special.
We are thrilled about this playground because in our last building in Maple Grove, we did not have a playground at all. The kids played on the blacktop or they played on the hill of the grassy area.
While the building has changed, the core foundation of Beacon Academy will stay the same.
Our school was built on the idea of having everyday Spanish and character education, and those are the two pillars that have, you know, been the backbone of our community since we opened the doors back in 2003.
In Crystal, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
And still ahead, we stay with back-to-school news and a sale that could save parents a lot of money. Plus, they've graduated some top-flight players, but the Maple Grove football team is looking to stay on a high level this fall. That's coming up in sports. But first, more rain likely on Thursday. We should dry out, though, in the evening. With consumer confidence strong, back-to-school spending is expected to hit its second highest level on record. But there is no reason to spend more than you have to. And in this week's Money Savers, Eric Nelson tells us about a local sale that can result in big savings.
We're a seasonal children's marketplace. We offer local families a way to buy and sell gently used kids items.
On a macro level, Just Between Friends is a nationwide company.
We're part of a franchise.
On a micro level, they are coming to Brooklyn Park for a 4-day consignment sale beginning Thursday. JBF takes in kids items from 400 area parents and sells them back at discount prices, with the parents getting a cut of the profit.
We have almost 4,000 shoppers, so we're going to sell a lot of what you bring. Those families are going to make 60 to 70% of their prices.
The kid-centric focus is perfect for families on a budget. There are plenty of toys, clothes, strollers, and back-to-school stuff available.
If your kids need it or like it or want it, we probably have it.
The event takes place at the old TJ Maxx store in Brooklyn Park. There are approximately 150,000 items for sale in the spacious building.
Kids are expensive. Moms know that, and this is a great way to save. We ask our consigners, our sellers, to price a quarter to a third of retail with nothing going over half, even if it was something new in the box.
In-demand stuff tends to go quickly at the JBF event, so getting there early is probably a good idea. But items that aren't sold are also accounted for.
At the end, we're going to sort and give back to them what didn't sell, or they could donate to the charity partner, which is Cross in Rogers.
The final day of this kids' fall sale will be on Sunday. Most of the items in the store that day will be sold for half price. For Money Savers, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
On Thursday, there is a $2 admission fee. The remaining days are free. Still ahead, what makes a good joke? We ask a Robbinsdale comedian. But first, the Hopkins Volleyball team will aim for a third straight trip to the state tournament. John Jacobson has a preview of the Royals next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The Hopkins volleyball team is coming off back-to-back section titles. To make it a three-peat, the Royals will need to rely on a blend of game experience and upcoming talent.
Before the Hopkins volleyball program can set its teams for the season comes tryout week. Around 70 girls are vying for 50 or so spots on the freshman through varsity teams. A lot of time is spent on fundamentals. Even for the returning varsity girls who play a lot in the off-season, the back-to-basics approach is good.
If you can serve and pass, you're going to win a match. So we really tend to focus on those and focus on getting back into shape, getting back into the habit of things. It's always good to go back to the basics, because if you can't do the basic things, you're not going to be able to win. So.
With the graduation of All-State hitter Jazz Martin, the offense for the Royals varsity may have a different look this fall.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Last year we ran a pretty traditional offense with two left side hitters in the opposite of our setter and two middles. This year we might be a little bit more creative. Anna can run pin to pin and she attacks well in the middle, and so we'll just have to see what the opportunities are.
I think while there may be different players on the court, the idea is the same. We're just going to go out and work hard, and we'll see where that takes us.
Hopkins does return 4 starters in setter Tara Lee, outside hitters Jane Nelson and Anna Erickson, and middle hitter Chodar Tott. The Royals will need some other players to step into varsity roles.
I think some of the girls who are going to be on the team this year, there's going to be a lot of new seniors, so they're going to have to be some lead roles being seniors, but it's going to be fun seeing how they do.
I think it's a great mix of younger players and experienced players. We have 4 seniors right now, 2 of which have had quite a bit of varsity experience. And then we have a good mix of younger players, a couple freshmen coming in that have impressed us so far. And so I think that makes for a successful team.
The Royals open the season August 24th at Elk River. Over the past several years, the Maple Grove football program has been blessed with a few big-time playmakers. This fall might be a little different for the Crimson, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Here's Jason Melillo with our first prep football training camp report this season.
The last few years has seen players like Jake Wenicky, Isaac Collins, and Brad Davison lead Maple Grove. All were huge impact players. They're also all gone. But the Crimson is kind of excited about that.
If I'm going to be honest with you, I love it. It's so great not to be just oh, that's where Brad Davison goes, or that's Isaac Collins. And that's who do you even play with? It's you kind of just feel like it's a team. Everyone puts in work and we're going to win, so I'm excited.
In the past, Maple Grove's always had those stars that you kind of circled there and you knew their names, and I think we're going to be a team that everyone's going to have to look in the program to say, hey, who is that guy? And I think that's kind of neat, and so I'm hoping as a group of 22 we're really good when we go out there, and the sum of who we are becomes tough to play.
Table, set! Replacing Davison will be Curtis Haugen. He was an all-conference free safety last year and will make the move to QB1.
He's been a great worker for us. He's a captain, and he's going to move over and play quarterback, and so we're excited for him to get that opportunity. He's a great player, and we think he'll do a great job.
Haugen should have a solid go-to target in wide receiver Eric Christensen, and Joe Raymond will be the man to lead the ground attack. On defense, the Crimson will be led by Jake Hansen, a fast and hard-hitting linebacker. Fellow linebacker Ben Paschke and D lineman Adam Skogman will also play a big role.
I don't think we have huge size. We have pretty good size. I think we're all pretty fast too, and I think we're going to be able to shut down the run pretty well, and we got a few really good guys in coverage, so I think we'll be all around solid.
The Crimson gets the lineup against rival Osseo in Week 1, something every player is looking forward to.
Right off the bat, these 2 days basically a pregame for Osseo. It's 2 days starts, you go to the season and everything, but I think I'm lining up against the Osseo guys. The fans are screaming. We're playing at our home field, and then both sides are packed too, and everybody's supporting each other. So I like playing right in the beginning like that.
It gives us an opportunity to play them, and it's fun, I know, for the community, and it's fun for each side, and so it's a great way to open it.
How would they shape out? Here's the Skinny on Maple Grove. They had an 8-3 record last fall. Lombardi is at the helm for his 7th season with an impressive 50-16 record with the Crimson. 5 starters back in offense, 5 on defense. First game is at home against Osseo on August 31st. We'll preview the Orioles Thursday starting at 4 on CCX Sports. And that's all for today. Mike, back to you.
Season's coming up fast. Thanks, John. Up next, we mix in some humor. National Tell-a-Joke Day leads us to a Robbinsdale comedian. We'll be right back. It's no joke, there is a day for everything, and today happens to be National Tell-a-Joke Day. What better way to have a few laughs than our visit with a Robbinsdale comedian?
I've been doing comedy for a while, about 2.5 years. I've always enjoyed making people laugh. One day I went to watch an open mic and realized that it wasn't that hard, and so I went in and I gave it a shot. Phibbs Brothers came around with Alex Aaron was actually doing studio work here. He found out about public access and how you can use the equipment and everything.
I thought you knew that this was a driving class.
I thought it meant about inspiration. I thought it meant about what gives you drive.
Monday nights at 10 p.m. we go live in this very studio.
I think you're supposed to come out of it. This thing is out of control.
First and foremost, we try to make it a comedy show. The jokes that I relate to the most are the ones that feel real to me. The ones that feel like it was an experience that the comic actually had. I actually got dumped on a Post-it note once, which made the rest of our work shift real awkward. And creating that joke is finding a way to be sarcastic and still endearing. I'm actually I'm in a very serious relationship right now. It's very serious, actually. We have almost no fun. She's very lovely. I do like her a lot. She likes it when I grow my beard out like this, so that's why it looks like I've given up. Nothing has ever made me feel the way I do when I make people laugh.
Photojournalist Dustin Scholl helped put that together, and you can often see Casey at the Joke Joint Comedy Club in St. Paul. That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone, and we leave you with the Shockwaves Water Ski Show at Parker's Lake. Enjoy.